Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. Now, there's a pause in the Trump trial. We've been covering it every day since, I don't know when, mid-April? But there's a pause now until next Tuesday when the closing arguments will be. So we're back on the case. Yesterday we covered U.S. versus Menendez, in which a State Department official speaking about arms sales to Egypt was on the stand right after the lawyer for Wael Hannah, the Egyptian businessman based in New Jersey, Egyptian American, let's call him, who got the halal monopoly and just by coincidence paid off Nadine Menendez's mortgage. But that trial too is sorry for all the noise here. This is the courthouse. That trial too is in something of a hiatus, and so U.S. versus Guo. It's a rhyme, yes. U.S. versus Guo. Miles Guo. We've covered it from the beginning. In fact, we covered some civil litigation here, in which there were people with the blue flags, etc., across the street. Today, I have to say, it's a little quiet. Today is jury selection in U.S. versus Guo. We're going to be covering it, hoping to also obviously cover the opening arguments before we're called back to other duties. We wrote a story yesterday in which the government is seeking to keep out of evidence anything about the fire in the Sherry Netherland, in which Miles Guo had a large apartment. When the FBI raided it, there was a fire. And they pretty much implied, you have to take a look at the filing for yourself, that, well, I'm not saying that they're bringing an arson case, but they say that it should not come in as any kind of would distract the jury. I don't know what, we're going to cover it. That's all I can say. Inner City Press, we're all over it. There's also a Connecticut Pharmaceuticals case that we've been meaning to get over to, and we'll do that around 2 p.m. But for now, we're heading in to the SDNY. Now, where we're not heading in is to the United Nations, because they're so corrupt that for exactly this kind of coverage, exactly this kind of questioning, live tweeting coverage, Antonio Guterres, the current Secretary General, had Inner City Press physically roughed up and thrown out of the building. We've had two law firms write in, Quinn Emanuel and Dwayne Morris, both pro bono, asking for nothing more than a dialogue about freedom of speech at the UN and the rights of the press to enter, since they themselves constantly pontificate about journalism is not a crime and how deeply concerned they are. It's all a lie. Antonio Guterres is a censor. His henchwoman, Melissa Fleming, an American, doesn't even answer her mail from law firms asking about the First Amendment. So we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to push that, but for today, we're heading into the SDNY, quite happily. To be continued.